Show me the numbers and I'll tell you the story. It's a great old school quote and it gets you to think a lot about what actually happens inside a business. You see, one of the great challenges in being a real estate agent is that I've never ever met anyone yet that actually lists more property than they appraise. So really, if you want to be good in this business, you got to get more buyer appointments, more market appraisals, and more listing presentations. Buyer appointments are everything. They build your confidence. You can extract offers, and most importantly, you can actually put deals together. That then leads into market appraisals where you get to develop the particular situation of the client that you're sitting in front of. That then leads into listing presentations, which is ultimately the moment where you get the chance to win the business and go and represent the client. What great agents are always about is they're about understanding why those numbers work and why they don't. And when you ultimately go and track the numbers every week, it really tells you about what's actually happened in terms of the results, the outcomes that you've been achieving, for the activities that you've been doing. Now, this is where you've got to go and adjust. What we've worked out is if you can get lots of buyer appointments, you're doing phenomenally well because you should get lots of offers in order to get your existing property sold. But if those buyer appointments are not translating into market appraisals, it's usually because you're not asking the key question, have you bought locally before, and what are your plans with the existing home when you go to buy the next? If you ask those questions, it really moves that translation from just buyer appointments into market appraisals. But the only reason that market appraisals don't move into listing presentations is because you don't develop the client situation. Ultimately, the size of their problem will determine their speed to market. So let's say, for example, they're having a baby. They have about 5 months to make that decision to get their property sold and settled and ultimately to be buying the next one to make it all happen. And if you think about that timeline, it basically means they've got about 8 weeks to come to market, to put their property on the market, to get it sold, to settle well before the baby actually turns up. Now, this is kind of interesting because if you don't use hypothetical questions, there's no way that you can actually open up that particular client. So if we have like a great buyer that will pay a phenomenal price for your property, what would you do next? Where would you go? What would that look like? How do we help you from here? What's stopping you from doing it today? Or one of my favorite questions, what would you need to see, feel, or experience to give you the confidence to do it now? That's what great agency is always about. It's about really looking at the numbers and knowing what you need to do next so that your buyer appointments translate into market appraisals, which then move into listing presentations. If you're getting lots of listing presentations, but you're not winning, then ultimately we know that we've got to change the pitch, sell the reasons of why what it is that you do as an individual agent, and spend more time in need identification to bring more of those sellers to market.